Hello everyone, it's Kevin Y. Brown, founder of Debt Free College Academy and author of the book 10 Ways Anyone Can Graduate from College Debt-Free, a guide to post-college freedom. This book is all about how to graduate from college debt-free no matter what your financial background is. In other words, a lot of people know that they should go to college or that they're going to go to college in order to create better opportunities for themselves, but they don't know how they're going to pay for it. And then they get to college and they end up graduating with $33,000 in student loan debt on average. And that number keeps increasing every single year. According to debt.org, every second a student gains $3,000 in student loan debt. This book came about as a result of a conversation that I was having with some friends out there who worked at some really cool places down, at financial institutions on Wall Street, different cool companies like Macy's, Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies. And we were talking about salary and life, and my friends, they began to complain about their student loans. And then when the conversation made its way around to me, they said, "Kevin, how's your student loans going?" And I said, "Well, I don't have any student loans." And they said, "What? How don't you have any student loans?" I said, "Well, I made a commitment when I got to school that I wasn't going to take out any student loans, and that's what happened." They're like, "Man, I wish I would have known. How did you do that? What did you get one particular scholarship? Like, how did that work?" And I was like, "No, man, I figured out a way." After that conversation, I went and I talked to more of my friends and asked them about their relationships with paying back student loans and things like that, and found out that a lot of people have student loans and that this is like a really big deal. And so what I did was I said, wow, how can I help? And I'm scratching my head, I'm trying to figure it out. How can I help? I have this wealth of information, these 10 proven strategies that I did clearly, because when I got to school, I didn't know what was going on with financial aid or anything. And I took my top 10 strategies and put them within this book. And these are the 10 strategies that I want to share with you today. But I also want to share some more about myself with you, because like I said, I didn't receive a full ride scholarship, and my parents didn't pay for my college education. As a matter of fact, it's the total opposite. I wasn't even going to go to college. One day after a basketball game in high school, my junior year, my old photography teacher stops me and she says, "Kevin Brown, are you going to college?" And I look at her and I say, "Not really. I don't think so. College is for rich people. I'm a foster kid. College is not for us." And she responds with, "Oh boy, you're going to college." And I say to myself, okay. And so she says, "Meet me in my office tomorrow before first period." So I go in there and she asks me a little bit about my background. I said, "Well, Miss Wilson, I've been in foster care since I was 9 months old, and I'll emancipate next year." And so she says, "That's fine, but we're still going to find you a better future. What do you want to do with your life?" And so I tell her some of the things that I'm interested in. She says, "Cool, well, let's find a college or university that you're interested in, or that has what you want to study." I'm like, "All right, great." And so she teaches me how to fill out college scholarships, college applications, and basically what the college process is about. So I get accepted to college and I go away to college. So foster care didn't pay for my education. And so I get there, and 2 days in, a kid comes into, I'm staying in an all-male dorm, 2 days in, a kid comes in and he says, "Man, if I don't get somebody else to sign off on this student loan for $20,000, I gotta go home." I say to myself, I stand up in front of everybody in the dorm. It's a big group of us, and I say, "Man, if I have to take out a loan, I'm dropping out." And everybody looks at me as if I'm crazy. And they say, "Man, the majority of people here are on student loans." I said, "I don't care, man. If I have to take out a loan, I'm dropping out." And I stuck to my guns, and that's why I stuck to that commitment. And that's why I'm able to give you the 10 strategies that I personally use to graduate from college debt-free. And those strategies are the same strategies that colleges and universities pay me thousands of dollars to teach their students, so that their students can become prestigious alumni and actually give back to their institutions. So here are the 10 strategies on how to graduate from college debt-free. Number 1, excel in high school, meaning get the best grades possible so that you can be eligible for other scholarships and opportunities that may come around. Also, you can take your PE class and some other courses before you even get to college, as well as take AP classes and CLE credits and things like that. Strategy number 2, sacrifice. You have to be ready and willing to sacrifice. Sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice time with family, you're going to have to sacrifice time partying, and you're going to have to sacrifice a couple of luxuries. One thing that I had to sacrifice on my debt-free college journey, one of my oldest nephew was born. His name is Jeremiah, and I wasn't there for when he was born. I wasn't there to see him grow up in some of his initial early years. That was a sacrifice that I had to make, but I understood that the sacrifice that I was making by staying in school and staying away at school was that he was going to be able to find a role model in me and someone who had went ahead and completed college. Strategy number 3, build relationships. Very, very important. One of my favorite strategies, actually. If you know the people who have access to opportunities and to funding, but not just you knowing them, they know you, then you're like 10 steps ahead of everybody else. Oftentimes we're on campuses, there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40,000 students there, only a couple of people working in the financial aid office, and they don't know who we are. We're just another number. So it's very important to have an actual relationship with the people who are in charge of funding, but not just any type of relationship, a genuine one where you actually care and build some rapport with people. Strategy number 4, meet everyone halfway. I love this strategy. This is so important because no matter who you know, if you have a relationship with them, that's great. But if you can't fit the bill, or if you don't meet the requirements, then the opportunity more than likely won't be yours. And so there's 3 areas that you really need to specialize in: academics, decorum, and extracurricular activities. I always say, without the grades, you won't get paid. But what's even bigger is that I used to receive a $5,000 scholarship annually, and there were students who had higher GPAs than I did, but the thing that separated us was that I was better than them, and I had more extracurricular activities and I was more involved, plus my reputation preceded me and things like that. So I really understood what it meant to meet everyone halfway, and I know you will too. Strategy number 5, super important: apply for scholarships, meaning take action. Oftentimes we get applications and things like that and we don't do them. Well, it's important, if we have those relationships, if we're an outstanding student in those 3 different areas: academics, decorum, extracurricular activities, we have to take action and actually put ourselves out there and apply for the scholarships. Go ahead and get the money. And then the other thing is strategy number 6, submit your FAFSA early. Huge. I always refer the strategy to compare it to showing up to a cookout. If you show up to a cookout early, then you know that the food is going to be plentiful, and the punch is going to be there and things like that. You know that everything is there. But if you show up late, then there might be some food left over, there might be some water, things like that. So the goal is to submit your FAFSA early so that you can receive or be at least in the running for as much money as possible. Strategy number 7, huge strategy: master your schedule. When you first show up to college, they're going to give you a course catalog which lets you know every course that you need to take in order to receive your degree. So it's important for you to immediately go ahead and figure out what classes you're going to take each semester, and then plan and figure out which classes you can take at a junior college during the summer semester and the winter semesters. Classes at junior colleges are usually a lot cheaper. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to save money and also expedite your process with receiving your degree. So instead of your degree taking you 4 to 5 years, maybe you can get it done in 3.5. Strategy number 8, the 2 for 2. Love the strategy. Go to junior college for 2 years, do great, find your funding resources for your 4-year, and then transfer into a 4-year, spend your last 2 years there. The thing about 4-year colleges is not everybody that finishes at one started at one. Strategy number 9, find employment. But first of all, try to find employment on campus, because if you can find employment on campus, then it doesn't contribute to making your overhead increase. And sometimes if you get employed by the university or the college, then they'll actually pay for your education. So try to find employment on campus before moving off campus to find employment, because you don't want to get into, I have to drive to work, I have to catch the bus and things like that. Because if you're driving, you have to have gas, you have to pay for car maintenance, insurance, all of these other different things that are going to be contributing to your overhead, rising your expenses. The same thing with public transportation. You're using someone else's schedule, the public transportation schedule. Then you're also just it's not the best strategy. This strategy number 10, be financially smart. And what I mean by that is if you see these different companies, credit card companies showing up and they're offering you, sign up for this credit card for some free pizza, sign up for this credit card for a free gift and things like that. Understand what your habits are. Are you responsible enough to actually have a credit card? If not, if you don't even know, then don't sign up for it. And then secondly, understand, the difference between assets and liabilities, and you also want to budget for each semester of school so that you know which kind of moves that you should be making. So for example, for myself personally, I had budgeted for a semester, figured out that if I was going to stay on campus that semester, I was going to have to take out a loan. Then I found a boarding house right around the corner from my school that cost about $2,400 less on the year, and I wouldn't have to move out at the end of the semester like you usually do when you're staying in the dorms. So naturally, because I budgeted that semester, I went ahead and moved off campus and saved $2,400 and had more money in my pockets. The other thing is that you could go onto the book's website, debtfreecollegebook.com, and you can receive a free tutorial, video tutorial, and the worksheet that'll calculate the numbers for you. All you have to do is plug them in, and that'll do all of your semester budgeting for you. You can use it for every semester that you're in college. So I know that these strategies work. I've used them to receive a free $140,000 education, and I'm hoping that you'll do the same. So go to debtfreecollegeacademy.com to get your free multi-million-dollar scholarship list, as well as to find out more about the Debt Free College Academy seminar, where I teach students and parents in depth the 10 strategies on how to graduate college debt-free, how to save money while in college, and how to be a campus entrepreneur. I'm wishing you much luck and much success on your debt-free college journey. I'm looking forward to seeing you at Debt Free College Academy.